play?
You absolutely
I,
can.
I would
Hello,
love
hello,
to
hello.
play
We
it.
are here. We are live. I kind of snuck up on us. Oh, this is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and we are a lot of things, and professional ain't one of them. Here we go. Thank you for joining us. And these wonderful people have joined me today from almost literally halfway around the world to come and play this game with me. They are staying up until the middle of the night to play this game with me, and that makes me shake a little bit. I am flattered and honored that you have chosen to do so. Now, let's talk to these incredible people. Let's start with Brochan.
Okay, hello everybody. As you'll see, we are having so much fun on and off the camera that it sometimes blurs for us. But I cannot speak for Janet, but the reason I'm staying up so late is just Kevin and Janet are just so fun to talk to and to play with and to role play with, and they are both very amazing people.
That's
So,
wonderful, but you're
so
supposed to be
as am
talking
I.
about yourself. Tell us.
Yes, I should talk about myself. So I am Brilchan. Today I'll be playing John Dodir, a crazy megalomaniac of an I forget nobleman.
A
I
nobleman, that's
forget
what it
the
used to
word
be.
for a minute,
Yeah.
but I also play in the 20 gaming channel. I play Kraken, a crazy Marxist netrunner in a cyberpunk red game, Carnage Heights, and he's addicted to basically Soma from the one game that I forget the name now. We are very professional and very chaotic, and it doesn't matter. And I also like to do gorilla photography with my camera phone while taking walks, and I try to share those on Instagram. It's
Wonderful.
very fun,
We could
and many people tell me they like my photos and they
well
are pretty.
pop
So
your link up
you
in the
can
chat if you
maybe
got it. And
look up that,
yeah,
and I think that would be all from me for now. All of my chaotic plugging, and back to you, Kevin.
thank you. Go ahead and pop that Instagram link into the chat so people can check it out. Also, make sure after the show tonight you pop it into the Discord somewhere, probably in the player project links. I think that's what we called it.
Yep.
Yeah, pop it in there.
Yes.
Our
I don't have Twitch up right now
well,
because my
is it
laptop
after?
is a potato.
That's so good. I
So
understand that deeply.
another time. Yep.
All right. Our other player this evening is Janet. Um, Relatively new to the
Hi.
channel. Hello. Relatively new to the channel and fit right in, I got to say. But when you're not here, you do all kinds of stuff. How about you start with telling us about your YouTube channel?
I talk and do stuff about gaming, event relation, stuff like Game Awards and animation.
And I also understand that you are a writer.
What?
That
You can,
you're trying to write movies, books, all kinds of stuff.
yes, but for now, only to travel because I nothing published yet.
That, no, 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 no. Publish doesn't make you a writer. Writing makes you a writer. Having ideas makes you a writer. I'm calling you a writer. I'm allowed. I run the channel.
I have a lot ideas.
Yes. And again, pop into Discord afterwards. There's lots of incredibly creative folks in there as well. Be more than happy to talk to you about that stuff. What did I miss? What else do we need to know about Janet?
Which channel? Ashley, tell us about your wonderful Twitch channel.
And this the same as YouTube because I connected both channels. So when I stream on both channels
Nice.
at the same time.
I just figured out how to do that about 3 weeks ago. so,
Hooray!
so with that, the officials. We did our character art using Hero Forge. The dice rolling that you'll see tonight is using a little tiny app called Roll a Die. Sorry, a website called rolladie.net. This game was inspired by one system called Grok, but for reasons, we are running it using Quest. So both systems helped us out. Background art in tonight's episode is from the Grok manual, And
And it's also inspired by the heavy metal comic,
heavy
but
metal from the 80s without
sans
the.
the
Yeah.
sexism.
Yeah, that's how I always put it. So, with that, let's get started. Because over 7 mountains, through 7 forests, and over 7 rivers, a long, long ways away, an adventure is underway. Heroes are heroing and hardly even realizing they're doing it. They're not just passing through a world, they're changing it. They may not realize that yet either. But for the moment, there's a moment of calm, a brief break in the craziness of trying to keep this convoy alive in this insane planet. Because you are in the Dirty Bastards Outpost, a famous place, an oasis in the desert, a safe place, a fun place. And if you've got the money and the time, it's a lot of fun. But for
And
the
we
two of
have
you, it's your
both
first
at the
time here.
moment.
And it's a pretty, I'm just going to quickly recap this because it's an odd place. Outside, it looks like a wrecked container ship turned into a building, but inside, it is an entire small town that projects a fake image inside a dome to keep itself hidden. Inside that dome, at the moment, we have John and Ashley. John, we're going to start with you. I'm going to back up a little bit because at the end of the last episode, you wanted to go shopping.
Yeah, because John is thinking that we will need the boss of this place. And we should make a splash. Making a splash is what John loves to do the best, but he was thinking that they should buy some clothes, not only some clothes, but some pretty clothes. Not only pretty clothes, but clothes that will be useless outside of this dome. To show, because we need to show the bossman that we take his invitation so seriously that we want to show off our stuff and be pretty only for his party, to waste money on his party.
Yep.
And that's the idea John has, and John would like after drying off after his amazing immaculate bath time, he would put on his clothes and he would go and do a little knock on Ashley's room and try to talk.
And Ashley would say, open, while she was finishing putting pajama
Okay,
after, but
Ashley, hello. I wanted to just ask you one thing because I don't want to do it without your permission. But I was thinking about buying some pretty clothes for our party tomorrow with the head honcho.
I
And
don't I will go with stuff I have because
no, but I understand that you like the stuff you have. Otherwise, you wouldn't have it. But think about it this way: if we buy new clothes, new useless clothes that are useless outside of this dome, we would tell the guy that we care about his party so much that we waste money, and then he would like us and he would give better deals to Bill in the future and better deals to our caravan in the future. It's not wasting money, really. It's an investment. Trust me on this. I was like, my family lived for this kind of stupid shit, and I had to learn all of this so I can use it for good, for our future
but
business.
I have already dress in my bag. So when
I totally get you, and you can say no, and I will respect your will because that's the kind of person I am. But I wanted to be generous. To you save my. Oh, I got a present for you, and he would take out the knife with the golden leaf,
Thank
and
you. And
I thought
actually,
that
we
hunting
took.
knife would be good for you with your whole getup. And
Thank you. A- And actually took a knife and watch closely.
Hmm.
yes, and he would show you the secret, the secret writing on it. Thank you for saving my rainbow hide.
And
And
she say thank you. And she, after looking and inspect, she put on side to tag with
Hmm.
free hands.
Yeah.
yes, I'm glad you like it. I thought it would be good for you because I trust you with my life out there, but out here in the social jungle, we are in my kingdom, and you are free to say no. But if you could just trust me and work with me, we could have as much success in here in social situations as we have outside.
Okay, but I want the most simple and very plain dress. I don't want
Okay,
Ankara or Princess Alike dress.
definitely, I know the vibe you are going for. It will be simple, pretty, and elegant. Maybe some light floral patterns. I'm sure you will love it, and if you won't love it, you have always your backup dress. So you are always free to say no with me. I won't
I
force
already
anything with you.
actually say to herself, I already regret this.
and John is in a monologue. This will be so much fun. I'm so generous, and
so,
he would
so
start
John,
to
you,
dance
yep,
and go out.
perfect. You run back down onto the main street, and it's I'll remind you guys again. There's only one other caravan here at the moment, so there's only about 10 or 15 people walking around this whole big place. So when you get down to the shopping centers, it's pretty much empty. There's one or two people. Um, there is, the regular shops. There's lots of places to buy the equivalent of jeans and t-shirts, but there is only one place that it's called E Couture, and it's
Yeah,
clearly very high end. You can tell it's high end because there's no clothes in the window. It's just like pictures of France.
definitely. Oh, amazing! That's the place I'm looking for. And
When you
uh,
walk in, there's that shapeless music. That sort of just there's music, but you
is the
can't.
smooth jazz, the background, New
Yeah, you
York
can't really
kind of
tell what it
jazzy
is. Like
jazz.
it's not really a song. It's just
Uh,
sort of notes.
it's just a background noise to
And
give off the vibes.
inside,
Hello, 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 hello. It's
as you
like,
walk in, you
oh,
see two. There's only two things in this entire shop. One of them is a robot in a tuxedo standing perfectly still like this, and beside him there is one sparkling silver dress on a stand. And as you say hello, 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 good afternoon, sir or madam, as the case may be. Might I help you?
yes, my dear mechanical friend, I need three pieces of clothing, one for me and two for my friends. I'm with the caravan, and uh, I need a Pugsley pattern suit for my friend and boss Bill, and a hat that's also Pugsley with a red pompan for him, and dark leather shoes. I think he would look great with wearing it, and I think John has got the special eye that he knows what everyone's perfect measurements are just by looking at them
Well,
because he's
as far as
stupid
John
like
knows, yeah.
that.
He
Yeah.
thinks he's that good. So, yes, you
But,
described that, and there's just sort of a,
and
yeah.
and for me, I would love like
Perhaps
uh,
one at a time, sir.
Okay. I'm
And
sorry. I'm just so happy about that.
very, very good, sir. And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out this little remote control and starts tapping away on it. And red pom pom, sir?
Yes, and the hat, like the jockey hat, like round beret.
Uh,
I think it's
very, very
beret.
good, sir. And
Yeah.
the leather shoes, black with a hint of red, sir?
I think it would be brown because the whole
Brown with a hint
getup
of red, sir.
should be Pugsley like brown and with the letter that is the I
Leather
forget the
elbow
professors like
patches,
yeah,
sir.
patches and the elbows.
You hear
Like
it. You
an
hear
old
a
school
tiny bit of
professor.
judgment in their voice, but their thumbs.
No, my dear, it's a style. The patches are not because there is it's a style that Scottish professors wear. Like
One will
old
never
school
understand fashion, sir. But was this what you were looking for? And he hits one final button, and that the dress on the stand shimmers from top to bottom, and it's like looking at Jackie Stewart. It's just except that was plaid, but just paisley from top to bottom.
Yes.
Just and it's that rich paisley where the swirly bits are all shiny and everything else is sort of a low cut, almost like a velvet. So it's got that three dimensional, that
It's
weight to it.
definitely the suit I picture. Picture perfect. Amazing.
Might I
So,
suggest a cane to go with, sir?
definitely.
Red crystal, sir?
Maybe a little golden bowl.
I should have thought so myself, sir.
Yes.
And you get the cane
Amazing.
made out of red crystal, the cap and the handle are gold.
Amazing. I made a good decision coming here.
Wonderful, sir.
So,
And he hits the button, and it's there's a weird sound like an old printer, a dot matrix printer, and then he reaches over and grabs a coat hanger and just lifts, and the whole outfit comes off, and he hangs it on his own. He reaches over his own back and hangs it here, and as he turns, you
yeah,
see there's like three hooks across his back. So he's got that one hanging in a and as he why not play this hard as he hangs it there, a nano bot starts to build the suit bag.
yeah,
So it's just, you see that happening behind you. You said two
definitely.
others, sir.
Yes, the second one would be for me. And the idea is like black lace, like the Spanish matador with the short blouse, but it will be black and all in small poppy flowers. The pattern and yes and
Might I suggest a hint of red on the poppies, sir, to match the other
yes,
ensemble?
definitely, that's the idea. Uh, Black background, like, but the red poppy flowers with tiny green. What's the word? Those
Leaves,
little
sir.
things that goes from the flower leaves, tiny green leaves, like, and it would be a great rich
Uh,
pattern.
Waistcoat, shirt, and cravat, sir.
Yes, definitely. Because me and my friends are going into a big party with the big boss of this place, and we want to arrive in style. We want to show the master of this house that we are respecting him
Oh,
by showing
very
up
good, sir.
with your best
It is said
best local.
it is
Yeah.
said of the dirty bastard that one does not wish to offend him.
Definitely, we don't want to offend him.
And with that, he
That's
pushes
why
another
I'm
button,
here.
and there's your black lace. And again, in my head, it's black lace over a black suit. It's sort
Yep.
of like a second layer with the poppies and the poppies and the leaves in my head. When they don't show up until you sort of turn and they catch the light,
Yes,
and then when you
definitely.
turn away or when you're in the shadows, it looks like a more of just a black suit.
Yes, because my mother had a very pretty dress with that pattern. I will do a picture in the Discord sometime, and I was just thinking about that pattern. It would be perfect with John's style.
I love it. Bringing
Uh,
real life into the gaming. So yes,
yep.
that one hangs it on the second hook and it starts to get built into the bag.
And the last one would be a little more subtle, you know. I got a friend that doesn't really like to do dresses, but and we had to be very delicate not to scare her. I was thinking about a plain white dress, but with a delicate floral pattern, like some delicate delicate flowers and the rim of the dress, and maybe like she's from the countryside, so maybe some wild flowers and some wild flowers and the blouse, but very understated, very delicate, very soft spoken, if I may say so.
We do have a line, sir, which we refer to as the "so not to offend" line.
Yes,
It is,
definitely what I'm looking for.
and he pulls out another remote, but it's smaller and it's sort of
Yep.
delicate. It's got some silver filigree on it. He says, "We do have this, sir," and he starts pressing buttons, and the dress beside him that reconstitutes every time he pulls something off of there
Yep.
starts changing. So it's like what you described, and then it's a full length ball gown, and then it's a tennis outfit, and
Amazing. She would love that. I will take. Yes, I will take that one because she needs to feel more empowered
uh, the uh,
because she.
the description you
Yes.
said is the default, sir, with the flowers.
Yes, let's make it the default. And if she doesn't like it or she wants to add something to her liking, she can change that.
Well,
Yes,
sir, there
and
is a
then
reason that this outfit is slightly more expensive than the others. Uh, when one presses the button, the unit feels one, sir,
oh,
and so that
amazing.
it works with you. And well, sir, it is best if it's tried, but it does work best if it's only tried by the end user.
Person who is for it. Yes,
So he hands
I
you
I
he
will
hands you
not
the
try
remote
that.
in a little gift box,
Yeah.
and the dress in another bag.
Oh, I got one more small. Do you sell little cute boxes for presents? Because I got this thing and I wanted to give it to someone who saved my life. Like he takes out his gem encrusted brass knuckles.
Yep.
I just wanted something to pack it in to a doctor who
Are we
helped
going to be
me.
matching the presentation, sir?
Why not? Let's go with that.
Very good, sir. And he presses a couple of buttons and walks over to a wall, and a little door slides open. And he reaches in and pulls out a tiny puff of smoke, comes with it just to show you that it just got made. And he holds it up, and I would call it gaudy. It is
Yes,
gold
but
and
John would love it.
jewelry and sparklies, and like for some reason somebody's put
Yes,
rhinestones on it. You know,
yes.
it's
John is like a 5-year-old kid
and it
in a
kind of
candy
yeah.
store.
And just to finish it
Yeah.
off, it kind of
He's
looks like
like,
a big clenched fist. So when you open it up, you put the
yeah,
knuckles inside and close it.
thank you very much. Put it all on the company tab.
Uh, there's a very good, sir. They hit a button and a tremendously large number appears in the amount due. And he says, just need a signature here, sir.
Maybe I will pay some of it from my private funds. Like, let's make it like this and this, and he's like taking off most of,
Yep.
like maybe not all of the things that he's get paid, but he's like, I don't want to be killed by Bob.
Yep.
So
You guys, I mean, you've got tons of money. You guys got paid for
yep.
this. And Janet, Ashley sent theirs home, but I'm presuming that John didn't. John likes to spend money.
Yep. So
So,
so John is like, maybe just 10%, and the company
The
that
company?
the
Perfect.
rest he would. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'm glad you picked 90% to pay because there would have been a memo.
Yeah, definitely.
Please explain to me what the party dress has to do with the survival of the convoy.
And he would he will tell Bob, I think it's Bob, he will say to him the what he said to Ashley, that
Mm,
in the future the boss of this place will want to do more business and have more respect for
absolutely.
everybody.
So as you
And
walk
yeah,
out, yep, sorry, as you walk out with your stuff,
the last thing he wants to do, like,
mhm.
get back to the convoy and find the doctor that saved his life.
Oh, okay, yep,
And
yep. The
uh,
convoy is being the strand
uh,
beasts are being kept in the original outside area where you guys came in.
yes,
It doesn't take long to find the rest of the crew because they've kind of gone through customs and they're just rolling in now. It's taken a
yeah,
couple hours for them to get through because they're employees, not bosses, so they have to go through the process. You guys got to
definitely.
cut the line, so to speak. Uh,
Yes, and they are all tired and sweaty and think,
they are,
and
but
John
they
is like
are.
fresh as a
They
daisy.
they come in the door, and like I said,
Yeah,
all on the left side was all the shops, on the right side was all the bars. They come in the door, and it's like they're on a tilted pool table. They all just off to the
to the
right, just
bar.
first bar, second bar, third bar. They're just
Yeah.
rolling in. Uh,
And he just wants to find the doctor, and like
you find
I just
you find the
yeah
doctor sitting on the green steps that has the projector on it. He's sitting on the bottom one of those, and he's got his kit open, and he's just filling little bottles. And on the bottle it says "Hangover Cure." Puts it over there and takes out another little bottle and fills it up. And
You really know your stuff, my dear man. I won't take much of your time. I know you're busy, so am I. But I just wanted to give you a little gift. It's a family heirloom, and you saved. And John is kind of he. It's hard for him to say, but you saved my life, and I wanted to give you this as a gesture of my thanks.
you hand him the
And
huge golden
yes,
fist.
in the pretty box.
um, oh, he sees it's right. Yeah, opens it up. Um, oh, and he
You can
slides.
buy a house or a villa or
He says, "Oh,
your own hospital.
oh, good. So you don't expect me to wear them? It's okay if I melt it down."
No, you can pound it in the local pawn shop and
Oh,
use
it's
the money for
easier to
whatever you
carry
need.
like this, but I will absolutely cash this when I get home. That's amazing. Yeah, that's like a clinic for sure. Thank you.
No need to thank me. You saved my life.
Can I ask a favor
So
in
you
return,
earned
though?
it. Definitely, whatever you need, I will try to
And
oblige.
John, he grabs you by the scruff of your shirt and pulls you down till your nose is this far away from his. Don't die again.
John would, because they are so close, he would kiss him on the nose.
Yeah.
I will do what I can.
And he lets you go, kind of grins for a second. He's trying to be mad, but you kind of, you
Yeah.
out-catered him. I don't want to lose anybody.
It's still hard for me to think about myself as mortal, but it's kind of part of the job. But I don't want to repeat that anymore than you do. So I think I have learned my lesson.
I hope so, because you were
See
two
you on
breaths
the
away.
road.
You were two breaths away from being left in the desert. Just so you know.
It's like a shiver goes throughout John, and you can it's visible, like
Yep.
he's shaking like a dog that got out from a river,
Yeah.
and it's very hard hitting for him, and it's very tough for him because he's still a megalomaniac.
Yep. And the doctor
It's very hard for
nods.
him to
Yeah.
register that
The doctor
he
nods and she said,
died.
"Good, I got through to you."
Yep.
And he goes back to filling his potion bottles.
I'm sorry, I'm a man on a mission. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Have a good day. See you soon.
And as you walk
And
away,
he
you
would go
don't.
back to hotel to Ashley.
Yeah. And as you walk
And
away,
that's
you
the
don't hear
scene.
him mutter behind you, "Oh, yeah, you can't do your mission if you're dead, right?" And he goes back to filling potion bottles. Meanwhile, I want to
Yeah.
cut to Ashley because at the same time, uh, Ashley, you had foregone the pleasures of the shopping and the bars and whatnot and gone straight to rest like a practical and useful person on a mission would do.
I reading black book
Yes,
because it's too small time to sleep 2 hours and
absolutely. Yeah.
she would look for bed after wake up before party. So she killing time by reading book
Absolutely.
black.
So you're laying in your room reading your book, and there's a knock on the door.
I say it's open,
And
coming.
the door opens about 3 or 4 centimeters, and there's an eye looking in at you. There's a whole face, but you can only see the eye because the door's only open that much. Um, hello?
Hi, who are you?
They
And
open the
Ashley had stand up from bed and go to door and open door
as you open it, he
fully.
sort of lets go of the door from the other side. He says, "Hi, I'm Randy. I live here. I was wondering if you'd like to talk about joining a revolution. Can I come in?"
What? What revolution? I don't welcome activism or some sorts or some religions. So please shortly tell what revolution.
We want to throw over the dirty bastard and take over the outpost.
But why? This place look good.
It looks really good because he takes a 50% tithe off of everybody after their first time here.
But what if this place would be worse after revolution?
We never really thought about after the revolution. And that is a personal joke from me, Kevin, because reading history, they always plan right up to the revolution, and then when they gain power, they have no idea what they're going to do. So yeah, you've caught him. He's standing there looking at you like, we don't have a plan for after.
So we better figure it out and then come back to me because I really don't have time for this stuff and later have regrets that people will suffer.
Um, okay, I'll just you're not going to tell anybody that I asked you, are you?
Yes, anyway, I don't have nobody to talk.
Oh, okay. I'm not very good at this, am I?
So, goodbye. And as she closed
Just
the
close the door right in his face. I love it. Outside, you can hear him just standing there breathing at the door for a couple seconds, and then he turns around and you hear sheepish footprints down the hall.
and she say, any moment of peace.
And then you lay back down to read your book. A few minutes later, yeah, that is a walk of shame, chat. Absolutely. Hi, you want to be in my revolution? No. Okay.
Poor Ashley with all the crazy people.
I
She's the
love it.
only sane woman.
That's why I keep throwing crazy people at Ashley because she's so sane. She just keeps smashing them. But with that, a couple minutes later, you hear, uh, a couple minutes later, John, you arrive. So I'll let you guys take it over from there as you get back to the hotel.
John would knock the shaven mustache. Dum 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 dum. Can I come in? I got your
Yes,
wonderful dress.
coming.
Ta-da! Hello, hello, hello. And he would be wearing his the suit that he bought.
The black lace
But
suit. Oh, yeah. Okay.
yes, with the stuff all over. But I got you a magical dress it's a special program. I program what I thought you might like, but the robot that sold it to me told me that it will change to your liking. So try it on, try the pretty weighted dress with the understated floral pattern. And if you don't like it, we can brainstorm something that suits you better. But I think the dress I picked for you, it's perfect.
And you give her the plunger
Yes,
and then
the
unwrap
little
the dress.
cute remote.
Actually,
Yes.
actually take dress and go to bathroom.
Mhm.
Change.
Absolutely. What is while you're in the washroom looking at yourself in the mirror, it's a very pretty dress. It's got floral prints on it and that sort of thing. What are Ashley's thoughts?
She sighed because she wanted more simple.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've got the little box, and it's just there's only one button on it. There's no instructions. There's just this little like there's a nice little gift box, and then inside that there's
She
this little controller.
she go back to John.
What do you think about it? I think you look stunning. Ashley?
You're muted,
I
Ashley.
think I
Yes.
think I don't like it. I wanted more simple, and I feel like I will falling on floor with in this dress.
Okay, okay. Let's work on it then. I don't know how to work this thingy magic, but uh, could you maybe try to push the button again? Maybe it will work different
Okay,
for you.
and she press button.
Okay. Um. All right, Ashley. You press the button in your head. In Ashley's head, I'm presuming there was sort of an acceptable dress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted very simple and very plain and kinda boring for John, but very simple.
Absolutely. So it's very similar to the one that's in your bag.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah. So yes, John, you see the transformation happen,
Mhm.
and I'm going to presume, Ashley, is it fair to say that there's a transformation from the face, from the neck up too? Like with this dress on, you're more comfortable, and you're sort of. Is that fair?
yeah.
So, John,
What
you it's
kind
like
of dress would it be?
plain, and then a happy, smiling Ashley's face.
I love the face. I don't love the rest of it, but maybe we can meet in the middle. Maybe because the idea is like talk to the robot, and the guy in charge is like he's very peculiar, you could say. He is very easy to offend. And the idea behind this dress is to show him that I know you don't care, but we need him to think that you care so much and that you put so much thought into this to impress him. I know you don't give a fuck, and I respect that. It's you, it's your character, but maybe let's spice it up a little bit, maybe add a dash of color, like
Ashley?
uh
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. How does.
But
yes, yes.
do you ever think that this guy have other people like us who try impress him?
Oh, that's an amazing idea. Impress him by not impressing him. That's such a novel. I'm impressed about by your not impressing him.
That's a power play for sure.
Yes, and John is like stunned. He's shocked. His mouth is, oh my god, I didn't think about this. And he's like stunned by your genius. You're a genius, Ashley! And he's like, oh my god. And for some reason he's got an bad bomb and like confetti all over the room.
And, and actually think in mind that he's supposed to be charismatic
Mhm.
and business guy.
Yes. You think
Yes.
he'd know by now that you didn't want to be the center of attention.
Yes, but he loves the spotlight so
Oh,
much he
yes.
wants to
Yep.
share it.
So,
I
with
love
that,
that
I
scene.
I
It was
wanted
great.
I wanted who would clean up those confetti now.
No, you would tell him to clean up, and he would just like do small spell to do a vacuum with his magic. And another example of his misusing his magic for stupid tiny
fair
spells.
enough. So yes, just to make that point a mechanical reality, knock off 2 action points. One for making
Definitely,
the explosion in the first place, and the one for cleaning it up.
definitely, I will do that.
Still has to do it twice because of the glitter. Yeah, glitter is never gone. Even when you're done, there's always 3 pieces left.
Yeah,
But
but it's magic illusionally glitter,
yes,
so that's why it disappears. And after all of this, John would remember that he needs to buy a gift for Hermes as well. So he would run back to the shop, and with his own money, he would buy like the Hermes cap, like the old Flash, the Golden Age Flash, the helmet with the wings.
Flash helmet
He would
for
buy both
Hermes. Oh, I love it.
for his dinosaur chicken friend,
Perfect.
and,
All right,
and yes, that would be all.
perfect. So, with that, we'll take the two of you, if I may, to dinner.
That
And you head down from
Oh,
the hotel.
and
Yep.
what would be Bob's reaction when he would be presented with the Pugsley suit?
Uh, um, a forced smile, I think, is probably the best you're gonna
Yeah.
get out of that.
I,
Yep.
I know you don't like it, but think about it this way. We will do good relationship with the big boss, and I know it's overkill, but I think he will be impressed that we tried for him, and he would give you a better business deal.
It's
T-
certainly impressive, sir.
Yes.
And
Uh,
he's kind of walking like he's afraid it's gonna break. It's yeah.
yep.
But with that, you head out, and we'll get to Hermes' helmet after you guys leave here.
Yes,
But
yes, definitely.
you head off to dinner. The castle at the end of the dome. They've used cargo hatches from the container ship as doors for the mansion. So there's this constant callback to the original crash, even though none of it's real equipment. The guards at the Grand Hall, in addition to the red piping, the ones that you've seen elsewhere these ones have red epaulettes and red leather boots. It takes 6 of them pulling on massive brass handles to open these huge cargo doors. A guard with gold braid steps forth from inside and gestures for you to enter. That seems to be his only job. You can see as you enter, the staff is all wearing shiny polyester tuxedo trousers, white dress shirts, and vests of brushed aluminum that mimic beaten up armor, complete with the overdeveloped abs and the tiny metal pauldrons on the shoulder. They move around purposefully, even though there's only 7 or 8 other guests present. Moving towards you is a massive human. They're 7 feet tall, big boots, so they're even taller than that. They move as though they're waiting for a non existent crowd to part in front of them. They keep nodding to people that aren't there and waving into corners where nobody's sitting. Their hair is coiffed
John would
perfectly.
use his magic to get him some applause, like the
Act-
canned applause
Canned
with
applause, yeah. Ashley?
yes.
Actually, it's going unsure and watching her over the place
Yep.
and
And
very unsure
yeah,
and slowly.
just kind of go into defense mode, almost get your back up against the wall.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I will take down one action point for the applause.
Fair. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
So their hair is perfect, their manicure is perfect, their eyebrows are plucked, their skin is clean and fresh. They smell as they get closer of subtle and expensive cologne, tastefully
John
applied.
loves it.
Like
He's eating
not too
it up.
much, right? Uh,
Ashley is holding her hands together and very slowly walking.
Perfect. From way up there, a big voice descends down to, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am the dirty bastard himself, and you are?
Ashley, just Ashley.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Ashley, just Ashley. And there's a brief pause and a little
She's an
grin.
amazing female ranger. Like she can kill a mechanical crab with just one precisely pressed shot. She's just a star. She's gorgeous, but she's just very, very humble. Very
And
understated,
Ashley,
might
he
you
says
say.
that the dirty bastard doesn't even look. He's locked eyes with you. And he says, it isn't often, and he looks at what you're wearing without being a pig about it, right? He's just like looks to see
Yeah.
what you're wearing, and he says, it isn't often that I see such refreshing simplicity in this place.
I'm glad you like it.
It's somehow stands out by not standing out, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I thought that everybody who come here are fancy dresses, and this could be boring for a long time.
Oh, I like the way you think. You
And
know.
John looks like a proud parent. He
Oh
didn't
yes.
do anything,
Yeah.
but he's acting like it is all
Like
his
he did it, yeah.
idea.
He continues to sort of make eye contact with Ashley, and he says, uh, "We are rather full tonight. Clearly not the case." He says, "But I do have room at the head table." And he holds out one elbow to ask you if you'd like to be escorted. And then there's kind of this moment, and he turns to John. It's like, John, he forgot you were here. How does that make John feel? As you're an afterthought as he reaches out his other elbow to escort you to the head table.
I'm I am now thinking part of John knows it's a power play,
Yep.
but the inner John cannot take it.
The ego.
It's
Yep.
like the inner fight, like the logical part knows that it's a power play, and he's educated enough in social cues to not
Yep.
let it show, but a part of him is fuming at the mouth.
Oh yes.
But he takes the other hand, and he's like not giving it away. But
For
he's
sure, yeah.
fuming.
As Chat
It
said,
totally worked.
as Chat said, I respect the move, but fuck you.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely
pardon the
move.
language, but yeah. So the two of you are.
Ashley,
Yep.
very unsure, and give hand and, and take hand, but very secure and assured
Uh, in that
because
case,
it's stranger.
oh yes, he's a stranger, but Ashley, there's a feeling that you get. You've got it from a couple other people in your life. This is a safe place. This is a safe person. He's not going to do anything. He's going to play politics with you all night, but he's not any danger. And as long as you're here in his place, you're safe.
But she
I got-
still is shy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Definitely.
I wouldn't
I
have it
got
any
a
other way. Yeah. Yeah.
because John has an ability, a spell that is impression.
Yeah.
You brush against a creature feeling its desires.
Yep.
And since he gave his
Yep. Oh yeah.
elbow to me,
Yep.
he's holding John's hand.
Yep.
John would use this ability to
Okay.
feel what is the secret desire of this person. He thinks he knows. He thinks that the dirty bastards wants to be enjoyed. He wants to be seen, but he's not sure if that's
Well,
true.
then it's a big surprise when you turn on the magic, because
Yep.
what hits you is a wall of greed. It's just
Greed.
dollar signs and gold and
Just like the goblin, the
yes,
sky goblin.
yep. This is just
Okay.
all about money, 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 money. There's no
Yeah.
compassion. There's no anything.
That is useful.
But having said that, you also get the same outward impression that this is, as long as you don't turn on this man, or this man doesn't turn on you, you'll be fine. Here.
Yeah. There are rules.
Yes. And he walks you up to the head table and sits you down on his right and left side. And in fact, the people that were there, everybody sort of stands up and moves out one and sits back down, because his crew is at the table. The only full table in the place is the head table, even though he keeps pretending that the rest of the place is full.
Yep.
So, I think perhaps the way we do it here, sorry, I got the accent wrong. I think perhaps the way we do it here, we might start with some sweet tea.
Oh,
Okay, but what
nice.
tea? Because I'm kinda picky with tea.
Oh, you obviously haven't met our robotic friend. He also does dresses, I think, in his off time. And he pulls out a cup with a very similar button on it to the one that's on your dress remote control. It's empty, and he puts it in front of you. This is just
Actually, we try to mint tea.
yeah. So you kind of push the button and think about the tea that you want, and you watch the cup fill up from the bottom.
And drink.
And you have a sip. It's perfect. It's got exactly the right flavor, exactly the right spiciness, exactly the right notes.
And relax.
And just sit back. Yeah, John?
Sweet tea sounds amazing, my dear sir, but sadly I have to cut down on the sugar. You understand, help? But I love. I'm kind of barbaric in that way that I love overstepped tea. It has to be as strong as a vampire kiss, in the middle of midnight, and it's like in the Russian prisons, like prisoners who were into drugs but didn't have the money to have drugs had overstepped tea. It was called chai.
Yep.
And it's so strong that it makes you head tingle. And that's the kind of tea that John would drink and smile.
The stand your cup. Sorry, keep it in the accent wrong. I understand. It's to stand your spoon up in the cup of tea.
Definitely.
It's so thick, it's eating the cup from the inside. We got one of them. And he
Amazing.
snaps his fingers, and they
Thank
bring you
very
one.
much.
You don't get the push button cup.
Oh,
They bring
okay.
you a cup of massively oversteeped dark tea. And in fact, they
Yeah.
bring two, because they put one down in front of you and one down in front of him.
Oh, amazing.
He he reaches over, and there's a sugar shaker like in a restaurant, and he pours about 4 more teaspoons of sugar into his, and then starts stirring it with his finger.
John is John is main space. I hate you, but I love you as well. Yeah.
I suspect you're wondering why I haven't asked you to pay for anything yet.
Yeah, I'm asking myself why you invite us.
We will pay in the future. A good salesman gives a taste for free, and then you will have to pay in the future because you know how good it will be.
You're very close. Your first visit here will be tax-free for 12 hours.
I was thinking that this is about taxes and stuff like that because we are not important and for deals for company.
Taxes and debt, the two things that are unavoidable.
He kind of grins and says, "Well, you've seen right through me. Some folks get a little upset, but it's all up front. That's why the first one's free. Now, in return for the complete and utter lack of profits, and in fact the cost that I'm incurring, I was wondering if y'all could do a favor for me."
What kind of favor? I want to know before I agree, because this could be some dangerous or criminal.
A shrewd
She's
business
smarter than me. I will say okay up front.
a shrewd business person. I do love meeting somebody who's smart. He says, "Well, here's what I'm asking." And he pulls out this little bitty box about this big, and it's clearly a puzzle box. It's a cube, but it's got like the pieces. You can somehow you're supposed to take it apart.
Rubik Cube?
No, not the spinny one, but this is one that physically comes apart into pieces. I don't know
Oh,
if you've ever seen them.
cool.
Like they used to make a ball, and you push one piece this way, and then it'll release this
Oh,
piece, and
sounds amazing.
it's literally a puzzle cube. The idea is to try and figure out how to take it apart.
Mm.
He places it on the table. He says, "It's a puzzle box for a friend of mine. Uh, the friend is a man who calls himself the mayor of the fishery. I believe you're passing through there on the way to the islands."
Okay,
I look at the boss man,
I want
Bebop.
also ask this puzzle need stay untouched or we can't look.
He says, "Well, I wouldn't open it if I was you. Inside there is the stankiest stink bomb I could get 3 chemists and a druggist to put together for me. That sumbitch
Okay,
stiffed me for $20.
okay,
How much did you pay for the bomb? Just out of curiosity.
The box was 2,500. The stuff inside it was the same. There's a
Yeah,
reason they call me
I
the
totally
dirty
get it.
bastard.
where are those chemists?
They they don't have public offices, but if there's something you need made, you just let me know."
Yeah, I
I
totally
would
get you.
really,
It's about the
That's
rules.
just yeah.
I
Understand.
would really like meet them.
Well, we'll take you there right after dinner. Speaking of dinner, ice ice flavored fruit for starters,
Okay,
Sounds
apple.
delightful.
and it's
I
like
would love
it's basically
apple.
a apple. Oh, that's my favorite too. And what comes out is like a frozen apple ice. Like it's literally just
Yeah.
apple juice frozen and then crushed. It's just
Yeah.
it's actually really good.
I love making those.
A little bit bitter, but
Those
just like an apple
I
ice.
would,
Yeah, yeah.
I would, I would love add mint to this toast.
Yes,
Oh,
and John
absolutely.
would
And
take cherries with milk, and ice crash, like a huge milkshake ice cream kind of thing, because
yeah.
he loves cherries. That's why his first coat has a cherry tree pattern, because his family had cherry trees gardens.
So I like this because you're being picky, and this is perfect because everything you ask for, he provides. Everything that you ask for, he has. If you wanted, I used to 20 years ago. I tasted this in a faraway place. He's got it.
But Ashley is suspicious why he's so nice to us and provide our needs.
Do you ask?
John isn't suspicious at all. He thinks I'm worth it. Finally, somebody who sees my
Sees my true
great
value.
value.
She not
But
she
yeah.
not ask,
Mhm,
but she is very quieted
mhm.
where she took stuff.
And you, as you look around and sort of putting two and two together, especially the guy that was at your door earlier as well, combined with all of this, he's an extortionist. He takes a huge chunk of people's money just for stopping here. And because of that, he can afford to be incredibly nice to you on your first visit. This is old school drug dealer stuff. John was absolutely right. First one's free. That's exactly what he's doing to you. He's trying to blow your mind so that when you come back and he asks for 20% of the total value of your caravan, you'll say yes.
50.
It was, yeah, but 20 different, that was,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway.
Okay. And one more thing, because I think it's funny, John would have Weissen for John Deere wants to eat deer
Yeah.
as his main
Venison, yeah,
course.
absolutely. So
Yes,
yeah,
venison.
you get some venison. Ashley, you don't specifically have to tell me what you eat, but I'm not gonna put words in your mouth. What do you essentially ask for? Fancy, nice, plain? What type of food?
She would eat some stuff like roasted chicken
Mm-hmm.
and very stuff fat.
So things that you were familiar with, sort of like food from home.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love this. I absolutely love this. Ashley is so comfortable with who she is that even in the presence of plenty, it's like, no, I'm just gonna have some soup. You know, just like you're unflappable, Ashley, and I love it. You see through people. This is a great character. John, you're seeing through people too,
Yes.
but you're so flashy about it. It's so funny.
Yes,
But-
and John is like eating like a king, like his grandfather.
Oh yeah,
made
2,000
a
calories
huge
per
feast
service.
with-
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just pigging out. So, at the end of dinner, there's been small chat. There's small talk all the way along, and at the end of it, he places his hands on his big belly. He says, "Oh, that was good." He looks at his watch. He says, "Well, y'all have got about 9 more hours before I start asking for taxes. So if you want some rest, this might be the time to do it."
Thank you for your hospitality, kind sir. I will pay your
But-
taxes in the future with joy.
but you promised me talk to the science chemist about puzzle.
Oh, of course, of course. And he snaps his fingers again. One of the helpers runs over, wearing their fake armor vest and their little tuxedo thing, and they've got the towel over their sleeve, like the waiter. You know, and they go, "Yes, sir," and he says something, and they go away. And a couple minutes later, 3 people come in the back door, so to speak. 2 men and a woman. One of the men looks like he's on his own stuff, like just hair out to here, eyes this big, and he's just kind of vibrating. The other man looks like a research chemist. I mean, white jacket, lab coat. He's got his pocket protector with his pens in it, the whole thing, right? And then the lady looks, compared to the two of them, perfectly normal. She's just wearing normal clothes. She's also Ashley, not dressed up in any way, shape, or form, even though she's standing here in front of this fancy dude. And they come forward and talk to him for a second, and then he says to you, "Would you prefer to have this conversation?" Oh, damn it, I can't get this voice. Would y'all prefer to have this conversation in private?
Yeah, but this will be short conversation.
Well, in that case, why don't the 4 of you retire to the lounge, and I will take your young friend here. And he looks over at John and kind of grins and says, "I'll take this one dancing. I get the feeling he likes to dance."
Sounds amazing, partner.
So, John and the boss he grabs a big stein, and he's 7 feet tall, so it's like a 2-pint stein. It's not a regular one; it's twice as big.
Yeah.
It's like, think Andre the Giant, if you've ever seen as a wrestler.
Yeah,
This guy
yes.
looks like that, but well dressed.
In the Princess Bride.
Exactly. Yes. So the 2 of you head up. We're gonna do the Ashley thing first.
Ashley took
Definitely.
from table and bomb, and she say, "I would love buy those few, and if you have any other variation, I would love to. How much?"
"Oh, but you're within your first 12 hours," the lady says. "So it's all free. Now, what was it you wanted?"
Few of those, and
The
and Odor.
Oh, I'm sorry, the stink bombs? Is that what you were looking for? You said the odor? Is that it?
And
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
odor
Oh,
bombs. If you have other variation.
oh, you wouldn't believe the things we've come up with. Uh, that one, do not open that box. If he's given it to you, he asks everybody to take it, and you're the first ones that have said yes. Do not open that box. It will
Okay,
make your
but
children sick, and you haven't had them
okay,
yet.
but I need this on my journey.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I understand. I had a fellow try to take advantage of me once. I stuck one of these up his nose. He's still screaming. That was 4 years ago. And she reaches into her pocket and pulls out this little, like, looks like a cigar tube. It's just a silver tube about that long, round at one end. It got a little cork in the other end. She pulls open the cork and she shows you inside. It's padded tube so that they don't break. It looks like paintballs in there, just little plastic balls. She says, I built a delay into these, and she clicks it back shut and hands it to you. There's 6 of them in there.
I take it.
She says, there's
And
a delay, so you've got about 10 seconds to get away.
I ask, would I have no recipe for this or it's secret and NTA?
Oh, well, technically, I'm not supposed to share, but I do love the idea of helping out women everywhere. So, as long as you promise to share this with people who can use it to keep assholes off them, I give you the recipe for free.
I promise. I will, and
The,
thank
the,
you.
the 2 men look really uncomfortable, and they've kind of backed off to let this conversation happen. And yeah, she hands you the tube of 6 10-second stink bombs.
Yay, feminism.
And then she says, is there anything else you'd like? Acids? Poisons?
I need anything because this journey is very dangerous. So any bombs and stuff like that is helpful.
Oh, well, how about you just come back to the office and I'll show you some of the things we've got. She turns around and looks at
But
the
I
2.
don't know. But I don't know where is office. And
I'll take
tomorrow
you.
we go.
It's real quick. It's just around the back. We can be here and back in 20 minutes.
Okay.
And she looks
So
at the 2
you
guys and says,
come.
you 2 assholes can just disappear. She's
Okay.
clearly the
We
boss.
can.
Okay. So
And thank you again.
they take you, she takes you around, literally around, out the back door of the kitchen, across this little tiny space, and into what looks from a distance like a shed. But when you walk inside, it's like the TARDIS. It's a lot bigger on the inside because it's built into the wall. So it's a whole container that's kind of sticks out so that it looks like it should only be a couple square meters, but it's actually quite large. And there's, it's half of it looks like a mad chemist lab. We know who works down there, right? It's all smoking beakers and explosion marks on the walls and cardboard over the windows because they've blown them out too many times. And then there's a smaller section which is all paperwork. And it appears like, and then there's a picture there of the other guy that you saw, and what appears to be his wife and kids. So he's like the bureaucrat of the group. And then in the other corner where she takes you, just a very small little table. It's not much bigger than sort of a vanity desk. It's incredibly tidy, and there's all these little bottles above it, like a spice rack, and then underneath it, like cupboards. There's all these little bottles and tubes and things. And she says, "So, you mentioned explosives."
Yeah. Anything
And
with weapon.
she very carefully reaches down and lifts up this rubber ball about this big, a couple centimeters. She says, if you put this in the fire and run, there will be an explosion large enough to light up a fair portion of the night sky. It's all
Thank
fire
you
and
so
flash.
much. This is great. Thank you so much.
I'm making a
Do you
list of all
have
these
any-
things, and I'll put them on your character sheet after we're
Do
done
you
tonight.
have also any poisons or stuff like that?
And she grins and says, I knew I liked you. And she unlocks this little box that's built into the bottom shelf and pulls it open, and there's a couple different colored vials in there. They are all, I mean, because this is a graphic novel, they all look like poison, like they're nasty green or nasty bubbling red, and it's just. And she says, "So, fast acting or slow acting?"
Okay. And I like you too. And Ashley took her stuff she gave her.
Okay, so we'll give you two slow acting poisons and two fast.
Slow.
Okay,
Because she's careful.
perfect. So four slow acting poisons.
She is like slow acting or fast acting, and Ashley's like, yes.
Well, the nice thing is, and in fact, that gave me an idea. So she hands forward them to you, and then hands you another little tiny little bottle with an eyedropper in it. And she says, "If you want that to act faster, just put a drop in before you put it in their drink."
Okay.
So you basically got four
Thank you
slow. You've
for
got four
everything.
slow poisons with a catalyst that can speed them up. One explosive ball and 10 stink bombs. Oh, sorry, 10-second stink bombs. She says, there's one more thing. I've made it, but I've never tested it. I'm
What
not.
is this? Maybe
Well,
I can test it
well, that's the
on
thing
field.
is, I'm not sure what it's going to do. What I combined was an explosive and a love potion.
Okay. And Ashley say very slowly, okay, give me.
And a lot of the other things have been like sort of safely wrapped in rubber and things like that. This is in a molded glass tube, which sits in a padded tube, which sits in another padded tube, which has a lid on it. And she says, you'll want to be upwind of wherever that goes off unless you really like the people you're blowing up.
Okay, I will.
Okay. And I think one love potion. I think that's all she's got for you, Ashley, because that's a lot of stuff. Does that work?
Actually, have full of guns
Yep. So yeah.
because John don't give her back.
Yep.
Yep.
So
And
yeah.
the Rick and Morty showed me how scary love potions can be. So the love potion is more scary than the poison or the
And then
skunk bomb.
just as you're turning to leave, yep.
But I actually think that she could use it of some sort animal.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. There's all kinds of things you could do with this, and I'm kind of concerned now what I've done. But never mind. I'm creative enough to figure it out. But
She have now a lot of arsenal because she have also bottles
Yep.
with alcohol.
Yep. So you get it all packed up and ready to go, and then just as you're leaving, the chemist says to you, "Can I interest you in a drink? Non-poisoned, of course." And
What kind drink?
they pull out a bottle. It's just a plain bottle, like a wine bottle with a regular old-fashioned cork in it. And they the top off and pour a glass, and you can see it's homemade dandelion wine.
She smell first and she sip one and only because she don't know what effects this have had
Absolutely.
then.
So,
And she don't know why she proposed her this drink.
and so yes, you have a sniff. She has a drink first to show you that it's not poisoned. You have a sip. It's. Would this be something that Ashley might have drunk at home?
Yes,
Yeah.
but first she asked chemist why she proposed her drink.
Well, if I'm honest, I spend almost all my time with men. And I'm sure you know how tiresome they can get.
Yeah, and you need a lot patterns to them.
Uh huh. And the one thing I've never managed to figure out is a patience potion. So I would just like a couple, half an hour, maybe an hour of just sitting here comfortably with someone that ain't trying to get in my pants and ain't trying to bother me.
Okay, and nice to meet you too.
And
And
yeah,
she sip more.
she says, "It's nice to meet you too. What did you say your name was?"
Ashley, and yours?
I'm Karen, but not one of them. And she reaches out her
Okay,
hand to clink glasses with you.
and Ashley and ask what if they were looking for us when we drinking.
Oh, they know better than to look for me.
Okay,
And so you have,
and Ashley sit down comfortable
yeah.
and drink.
And forget the time frame. The two of you have a nice conversation. I hope Ashley feels comfortable finally in this big, crazy building. There's this one little
Yes,
private spot, and you can kind of kick back. Ashley, you realize that you could push the button on the dress and make it even plainer.
and Ashley press button, but she can't scare it what she said when John find her letter.
Oh, you just have to push it again; it'll go right back. That's the best part about this
But
dress.
but she don't understand still how remote work.
Sure. It's every bit as magical as John is. It's yeah, exactly. You push the button and think, and yeah, that's a good question, Bison. What happens when you push the button and you're not sure what you want? But we'll figure that out at some other time. So you have this wonderful conversation, this peaceful, relaxing conversation without any pressure, without any crap, without any noise, just quietly sitting there and enjoying a glass of wine. Not overdoing
Finally,
it.
someone normal for Ashley.
Exactly. Ashley's finally found somebody who's normal. Meanwhile, and definitely not normal, uh, John, you were. Remind me what you were doing.
I was dancing with the big boss man.
Oh, yes.
And I think that John, because he's a noble-born
Yeah.
nobleman, he knows all the dances
Oh,
and
yes.
he can dance the role of the man, the role of the woman. They can
Mhm.
switch, and John can be a southern belle
Yeah.
for this gentleman.
Mhm.
He is good with small talk. He knows what to say. It's just all the things that he was taught as a child, as a
Yeah.
young man, came back to him like second nature, like riding a bike.
Perfect. At the end of a couple of hours, he turns to you and says, "You know, I really like you. I've been thinking of expanding the network. How'd you like to be the little dirty bastard?"
It
How
sounds
dare they?
amazing. I'm honored, dear sir. I like the cut of your jeep and I like your style. And I think I would fit very well in your empire. As a cook in your machine, of course.
I'm looking for somebody to open up a new outpost.
Sounds amazing.
Well, once you're done your little run and you take my little present to you, my little friend, y'all come back now.
Of course, dear sir. And John is like, oh yes, man. He's just smitten, but not in a sexual way. He's smitten with the power, the opulence.
Yeah,
It
this
just
guy's got what
speaks to
John
him.
wants,
Yeah.
right? John is magnificent, but he doesn't have all of this magnificence around
Yes.
him, right? So yeah.
And John thinks he deserves that
Oh, what
magnificence.
does envy feel like, John? I gotta presume that's a new feeling for John.
It's not envy, it's just he's where John wants to be because John thinks that he deserves all of this, and that's the universe
Sure. Okay.
showing him you're gonna be even better than this guy. Like it's not envy, it's just things finally fell into place. Like
That makes
John
sense.
thinks it's fate. He's not envious. He's happy for the big bastard's success,
Perfect.
and
Yeah.
he's happy that he's gonna be a part of this success. That's how he thinks. That's the generous part of his
Yep.
personality.
He's gonna help. He's gonna help him.
Yes,
This guy who
he's
does
gonna
not need any
help
help.
this guy
This
so
guy
he
is
can
fleecing
help
the
himself.
universe just fine, thank you. But John's gonna help
Yeah.
us. I love it. So, is there anything?
Ashley,
Yep, Ashley.
Ashley is unsure because she's already rich and she have good job offer from Bob.
Yep. Oh yes, absolutely. Yep. You guys have both
Yes.
had job offers so far, but
Because John didn't understand the rules. He didn't know that so much things are free before his time, allotted time would come. He would get some cherry wine, some good wine. He would get some books for the road. He would get his own magic button
yeah,
for clothes.
yeah.
Like he's taking all the stuff before the time
Yep.
ends.
Perfect. So, is there anything else either of you would like to do before a rest and then resuming your journey?
No,
Nope. Okay, you ready, John? You good?
Ashley is very tired
Yep.
and kinda tipsy after wine.
Back to your room.
Yes, her emotions are all
The only
spent.
the only thing I'm going to add to Ashley, when you get back to your room and take off the dress, the magic dress, when you go to like take it off and go to fold it up, it blanks. It just turns into a plain white frock, which makes it very, very easy to fold up and package. In fact, there's a little tiny pocket in the front for the remote.
I packed this dress. Maybe we will use it in future.
Mm-hmm. A programmable dress, I imagine, would be quite
Yes.
useful. Yeah.
So John would get some light reading books
Yep.
for the road. He would get his own magic button, and I think he would also ask for some good revolver.
Yep.
For the
Absolutely.
road.
Easy.
He
Yep.
needs a long range weapon.
Yep.
He won't be as good as Ashley, but seeing what Ashley does, he was thinking, I need some long range,
Yeah.
not spell.
Well, especially the way you go
thing.
through magic
Yeah.
points. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, easy. Just put a pistol on your sheet.
I will do
So
it. And that's all
after
from
a
me.
wonderful night's sleep, because it's in a bed, it's inside, there's no bugs, there's no monsters, there's no sun shining down on you, it's comfortable. And you start to pack up and get ready to go. As you do so, as you get back, Hermes is waiting for the two of you. You had a present for Hermes?
My dear friend, I brought you a gift because you
What?
are so important to me. And I think it will fit your vibe. And he would put the head on the not Stegosaurus.
The T-Rex.
The chicken
Tyrannosaurus
T-Rex.
Rex. The Roostersaurus Rex is what we called them. So yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, he
He
takes
would
off his
put
little because he had
head on him.
he had the little hat on before, right? So he takes that off and pulls on the flash helmet.
Yes, and it has straps, I think.
Tie it under. You have to
Yeah,
tie it 'cause
tiny,
his little
cute
hands
bow.
can't reach. But yeah.
No,
You get-
it would be special design for his
Okay,
hands.
okay, so he
it
can
would be
reach.
longer.
So he finds a shiny surface to look at himself in, and you see him posing there for a couple minutes. And
John
then-
would take out his personal mirror because, of course, John has
of
a
course,
friend mirror, and he would help Hermes to look at himself
Yep.
in different poses.
And at the
And
end
he
of
would
it,
be like, The photograph, you look great. The mirror
Yeah.
loves you. You are amazing.
And
Yeah,
he
like
ends up in
like
the
the
heroic TRX pose. The Pterosaurus Rex with his little spindly arms trying to get to his hips.
yeah.
And he's actually making noise like
Yes, and John would,
it's a
you're
wrong theme song, but
amazing.
you know.
He would butter him up all the way.
And so,
Ashley
yeah,
pet her Daisy and give her drink water.
what the standard water and treats for Dizzy.
Yeah.
uh,
And
Yeah,
she write a letter
yes, that's right. We have a letter to send. It's another night. So, what does this one say?
about her place. And at the end, she asked parents if she should take offer about opening outpost.
Well, the response you get back after you send Dizzy and they come back, um, again, it's mostly from your mom, and it's, oh, that's great, that's wonderful. Do be careful, dear, and all of that. There's a bit in it about not trusting men who treat you very nicely. The standard mom worry. Even though you're a full-grown adult, she's still worried. And then and it says, as far as the job, dear, you certainly don't need to work anymore. We'll have plenty. We already do. P.S. Your father rolled on the big ball of gold for 4 hours before he took it to the bank. Uh, but the only reason I would say yes is if that's what you want to do. You saved us. Perhaps, and there's a literal space on the page. Perhaps it's time to do something for you.
Actually, we think that she feel like this outpost is not good idea, and she prefer Bob offer.
Yep. Oh yeah, yeah. I think Bob's got the much better offer for Ashley. For John, you want to be the boss of a
Yes,
place. Yeah. You want to be the center of attention. Yeah. Oh yeah. Ashley is not the same. So
definitely.
you get that
Jo-
letter. Yeah.
John would make a vacation house on Ashley's planet, and he would make a cherry grove and like do 3 4 weeks in a year to like
We'll get to what you
pass
guys
pretty
do
well. Yeah,
after the adventure, because the
definitely,
last episode in my games is always an epilogue where I ask you what happened
definitely.
next. But with that, the two of you head out, get back on board Hermes and Dizzy, settle into those saddles again. You see the merchant marine coming out, and with varying degrees of happiness getting back into their strand beasts. Some of them you can tell they're like you, Ashley. They'd rather be on the road than in a place like this. Others are more like John, and they rather liked the beer and the warm bed and the nice, the insides. So there's
But
various.
John is surprised with himself. He missed Hermes. He missed the road. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was fun to be in luxury, but he's like shocked at himself that he wanted to go back on the road as well. He kind of missed the adventure, the adrenaline. So
That's
it's
a
a
really
new
cool thing.
side of him that he didn't think about.
Ashley, you kind of, I'm assuming, just click into business mode again as you guys head out. Just, I got a job.
Yeah,
Yeah. Rifle at the ready, doing your job, escorting. So the two of you head out first. And then for sort of 500 meters to a kilometer behind you, you feel the strand beasts moving out. Yeah. The chat says, finally, from Ashley. Yeah. It's like, I gotta get out of this stupid
yeah,
place. I just want to go be where my skills are useful, right?
yeah. And she thinking like she is now very well prepared
Oh
for
yeah, yeah,
what.
you are good to go. Anything that comes up, Ashley is ready to kick its ass. So, with that, you ride off into the darkness. The first night passes perfectly calmly. Not surprising this close to an outpost. This is a place where, I mean, there's no police here, but it's in everybody's best interests if you don't let the pirates too close to the base, right? So, for whatever reason, you get to this whole first night unbothered. Then you rest for a day. And then the second evening, you head out. That evening breeze that comes that charges up the strand beasts for you, and it's that kind of refreshing. As the sun sets, this cool breeze comes rolling off of the dark side of the planet onto you, and tonight you can hear it because you're in a desert with dunes, and you can hear this sort of thum, thum, thum. It's a weird sound. They used to call it the jinn singing in the desert.
Like the color of the page, the color of the comics is kind of more of a subtle blue.
I'm actually
I
glad you
think.
brought that up because it's now that you step back out, it's lost that high gloss finish that it had, and it's now blocks of colors, sort of blocks of pastel colors, and it's still got the heavy dark shading, but the world literally looks different after you walk out. And in that darkness, it's like a heartbeat. This wind coming over the dunes, it's thum, 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 almost like a bass line. And then you hear it in the distance, a distorted whammy barred sustained power chord, just wow 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 across the desert. It turns into feedback as somebody holds their guitar right up next to the speaker. Just they back into it, it quietens off. You get two more big chords. Wow 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 wow.
I actually think great. Next, where it go?
As you
John
get,
is like, someone's making a concert on the fresh air. This will be fun.
and the vibrating
He
sound
says that
hangs
out
in the
loud.
air. Yeah.
And Ashley asked Bob she could faster because she don't want meet this where to.
Absolutely. So you see Bob waves his hand in the air, and you see all the strand beasts starting to put up more sail to catch more of this breeze to recharge their batteries
Yeah,
and get everything going. Yeah, they're going into battle stations basically. The two power cords fade into the distance. Then you hear nothing. You can actually hear the sound, the hum of an overcharged sound system. Like at a concert between songs, if you listen really hard, you can hear that of 10,000 watts waiting to come out at you. Then you hear,
Ashley
yeah,
is relieved that should not need fight and deal with where it was.
yep, absolutely. So you're looking to avoid this fight if you can. An ultra fast, ultra clean guitar solo starts. In my head, it's Eddie Van Halen's famous guitar solo from the '80s. It's the one that people said he was the fastest fingers in the world. He isn't. I've heard several faster guitar
I
players,
like
but it's
it.
pretty good. Yeah.
I like it him in video Diana.
Yep. So it's that just like faster than you can possibly imagine. As you
John
hear
is
it
impressed.
coming over
and
the
happy.
horizon, you see first red sails, pastel pink hull, and giant golden wagon wheels. As you see not steam but clouds of air puffing off of a central deck of this ship. It is wind powered, but it's also, you can see a group of people running a capstan on the deck. It's the round wheel, and they run it around and around and around and around to do things. Usually it's to run sails up and down. That doesn't seem to be happening here. You're not quite sure what it is. The screeching of the guitar and the sight of the big-haired, frilly-shirted man with his guitar slung low over his hips, acting as the ship's figurehead. He's literally tied to the front of the boat, harnessing the power
This
of the
reminded
Hmm?
this reminded me Mad Max Fury
Yes,
Road.
Oh,
Mad
yeah.
Max 40
Yeah.
Road.
Exactly.
That was my first thought as well.
You now see the title of the ship, the name of the ship. It's called the Numos. And you also notice a couple of other things. I'm just going to give you the description here before we get to this. These pirates, because that's what they are, they're all dressed like 1980s big-haired ballad-singing rock bands. So they've all got like huge hair. The amount of hairspray used would destroy
80s
ozone
hairs,
layers on
yeah.
multiple planets. Right? It's the creaking of the rigging and sails is matched by the creaking of all the leather pants, leather boots, leather strapping, and of course leather tank tops, all in shades of red and black that they're wearing.
Kiss meets Venom.
Yeah, exactly. They're waving ion blunderbusses in your general direction, but they're still far too far away to shoot. On the deck, a dozen or more of them are turning this huge capstan while the other ones are reaching out and shoving giant corks in the end of the cannons that are on the side of the ship. They
Ashley asked John if he could do shit because she have bad feelings
Yes, I
about it.
can! John screams, very happy about it.
Please
How
do
strong of a shield
fast.
you want?
Please do fast for caravan because I have bad things about this fairy toss.
yeah.
Okay, so one question over the table.
Yep.
If John would use 5 of his magic point, could he make extra strong shield for the caravan? Because
okay.
let me check, but because the shield is just 1 action point.
Yep. So I like this. Yes, but because I like to say this. Yes, you
Okay.
can, but it will take 5 points, and it doesn't protect you two, only the convoy.
Yes.
Okay.
And John knows that he almost died, but he still thinks that this time would be different because
Yeah.
he is him.
So on a tiny poop deck at the back of this boat, the captain stands. He's clearly the captain because he's wearing an admiral's uniform, but it's made out of denim because he's an 80s rock star, and he's got no shirt underneath it.
Yeah.
So 2 guitars are crossed on his back, and in fact, he appears to be a robot. Even his hat is made of jeans material. The moonlight shines on his silver and gold carapace. Yeah.
I want something else. Actually, we took first a bottle with alcohol and some rack prepared for this encounter.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's 2 guitars crossed on his back, and a force field shimmers around him. It throws sparks when he moved. Their amplified voice can be heard even at this great distance. All you hear is, all right, all right, all right. And the ship turns
And
towards
Johnny's
you.
force field is like a rainbow, like a rainbow hue, like when you do bubbles.
Oh, yes. Perfect.
And
Yeah.
they have that hue. That's the idea.
What you can see is that it's heading not towards the 2 of you, but it's heading towards the convoy. It knows where the money is. Your job, what it says in your contract, is that in this situation, you are to interpose yourself between the threat and the convoy. This is the standard escort doctrine from World War II destroyers getting ships across the Atlantic, right? So interpose yourself between a threat and a convoy, engage the attacker, not necessarily fight them, but engage them in some way to gain time for the convoy to flee, and then, if possible, disengage and ensure the convoy has the best opportunity to outrun the remaining threat.
Actually, we got dizzy fast, and she will go toward this ship.
Yep. And Dizzy, you sort of give Dizzy the knee to get him to go, and he's got his little cigar sticking out of the corner of his mouth.
Actually took back of Arsenal.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So, but yeah, you see Dizzy, he's got the cigar in one corner of his mouth. You sort of tell him it's time to get serious, and he goes, it spits out of the other corner of his mouth and kind of shudders underneath you, and you can feel him just lock into business mode. Like he's ready to go. So, your first job, to interpose yourself. You need to get past the convoy, avoid landscape challenges, and get between the convoy and the raiders. So therefore, I need 3 rolls from each of you. I'm going to say before we start, if you fail any of these rolls, it's not the end of the world. It just means you're going to be 1 turn later getting it.
I get an idea. Because you gave John a time stone pendant.
Yep, I certainly did.
And one of the things that you say that are in our contract, like buy time for the caravan.
Yep.
Like could John try and use the magic of the stone to slow time for the pirate music ship? he doesn't know
You're
how,
not sure.
how the stone works.
That's right. You
But
don't know how it works.
that's what
But
he would try.
the impression that you get is it might work if you can get it onto the ship.
Also, I would have to lose it for it to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
So John would
But
try to
but
get closer to them and then slow
You
down
can always get
time
him
But
back
for
what
after.
both
if-
of them.
But yep.
but
Ashley?
what if John speed up caravan with staring at this caravan?
Hmm.
Brilliant thought.
Eh,
But so
okay.
does that make
do
sense?
that he rolls.
You used the stone to try and speed up the caravan?
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to be your
Okay,
first
so-
roll, right?
so-
Because
so
I need you
the-
guys to tell
the-
me what you're going to do,
yes.
right? So,
So Ashley gave him that idea.
Yeah.
He told her what he wanted to do, and she gave him a better version of that idea.
perfect. So, that's what you're going to do. Ashley, what is your first response from this distance?
I'm thinking where I could shoot because I don't know if this is ship that have mechanical engine or this is like a Zeppelin.
This is more like a sailing ship than anything else, and it's got thick wooden walls. So you're not going to be able to shoot through it like you did with the other things. And the difficulty is that right now you're not in a great position to make those shots. You'd have to move a little bit to get between them.
I also thinking if I could throw some bomb or Molotov.
If you can get close enough, absolutely, yeah.
I do this.
Okay, so you're going to sort of for this first step, you're going to get Dizzy to charge. Then it seems like the two of you
Yes,
both want to really
and-
close. Perfect.
Yes, and then I throw Molotov.
Okay. Let's ramp this up.
Since this is wooden
So
ship,
Ashley would get closer, and John would stay with the caravan.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, John, you pull over to speed up the caravan.
Yep.
A 13, full success. So, what you have to do, and it takes a couple of seconds because they've got these ropes on them. You basically sort of
Yes.
string a rope to each one of the things in the caravan, so that when you stick your pendant on the first
Yes.
one, it kind of through the line, and you see them all sort of like you change the speed of the film.
Definitely.
They're still slower than the ship, but they're much faster than what they were. So that is one
Yes.
success for you. Ashley, you put Dizzy's head down. He starts mumbling various war songs from his past, chewing on his cigar and moving forward. That is a 9. That is a difficult choice. You can, let's see what this choice is. You will succeed, so you will close the distance to this thing. But I know what it is. As you're closing, it fires a shot. One of its cannons. The cork comes out of the cannon, but it's on a string, so it goes thunk and it falls. But you hear, and you see a ball flying towards you. This ship is literally pneumatically powered. It's all pressurized air. They're cranking the capstan to build. It's basically like a pop gun on the side, complete with cork. So after it fires, you see the guy shuffle out onto the cannon and pull the string up with the cork and shove the cork back in the end of the cannon so they can recharge it. Ashley, it's coming near you. So your choice is keep going and maybe get hit, or veer to the side and slow down the length of time it takes you to get there, but guarantee that you don't get hit.
I charge stand.
Straight at him? Okay. Let's see. Yeah. It comes sizzling past you, and for a second you think it's not going to hit, and then just pings your shoulder on the way by. You can 2 points of damage, which I will track for you. So you're from 10 down to 8 now. But you just keep going, and Dizzy looks up and sees the blood coming off of your shoulder, and you just see his eyes narrow, and I don't know if you've ever seen a rooster that thinks you're after his chickens. He is mad. He is furious. And he turns around, and they're no longer singing the songs as you're charging towards him. He just looks down, and he's just head down, heading straight for this thing. It appears that he's going to headbutt this ship for whatever that's worth. Second one, John, you have managed to speed up the caravan. Now what? Your function is to still technically to interpose yourself between the caravan and the ship.
Yes.
So what do you do to accomplish that?
What can I do to do it? I think he would try and use his Lawbringer, the
Mhm.
3-point spell, because but now it's not no longer a disco ball making a hammer, but it would be a multicolor spear that would attack the ship, not the robot or some, but he would like to do a spear like to mm, what's the word, to interpose himself to uh, I forgot the word for
It's all
that,
good.
but
So
he will just attack with the
yeah, so you're
spell.
gonna run towards it and then cast a spell and drop your rainbow spear on it from the on high.
From the back
Yep.
because it's kind of he wanted to show them that it's not advisable to attack them.
Okay.
That they
I
are
have a
too
very
big.
leading question to ask you. Would you like
Yes,
to target the capstan and therefore
yes, I
potentially
would.
wreck the pneumatic system of the ship? All right.
That's
So
a great idea.
I am a good GM.
Voice in my head.
All right. So that's all happening behind you, Ashley. You've been pinged in the shoulder. There's more cannons on the side that are getting ready to fire. You're charging towards this thing. What would you like to do?
Throw Molotov.
Okay, so you're good. Okay, yeah, I love it. Okay, so this time we're gonna roll for Ashley first. You get close and just sort of boom and sort of hurl this thing like a grenade, and it's arcing through the air. Oh, it passes the setting like the one of the moons, and so you can see it lit in red. It looks like a bottle of blood with a flame sticking out of the back as it smashes towards the ship. Oh, but you rolled a one. It lands in front of you, and so next round you're either going to have to go around it or through it. But that's next round. Actually, no, it's a full one. So you're going to have to go around it, and it's going to delay your time getting to the ship by one turn. That's what I said the rules were. I shouldn't change them now.
Yes.
So, John, you're next. You the rainbow comes down.
Yeah.
A 10. That's a tough choice, right? That's the top end of tough choice, I think.
I'm not
I
sure.
forgot my rules. Oh no.
You can check them. We have
It's okay.
time.
We're gonna go with tough choice because
Yes.
I already
I'm
know what
okay
it is.
with that.
You now the thing is, a tough choice still succeeds. So the spell hits the capstan, and the capstan cracks, and you can see compressed air coming out. So you've damaged it. However, you've kind of knocked yourself because you were focusing on that. You've kind of got out of sync with Hermes because he's running at full speed right towards this thing over rough
Definitely.
terrain, and you kind of closed your eyes and focused, and you just you've lost your balance. So either here's your choice: either you don't get an action next turn while you try and hold on to Hermes, or you fall off and hit the desert and get to act the next turn but with no Hermes.
I hit the desert with no Hermes because
Okay.
I know John should be more careful
Yep.
because he almost died, but he still thinks of himself as as a god.
In the heat of the
So
moment,
he's
yeah,
like,
John can't fail.
no, I'm a hero. I
There's
will
a
win this. So
the Clash wrote a song. I love
yeah.
the Clash, but they wrote a song called "Rudy Can't Fail," and that's exactly what
Oh,
it is. Rudy is so confident that he cannot fail anything. So
it's more like I fought the law and the law won. So John is like, I fought reality and reality won.
physics won.
Yeah.
All right. So you having fallen off, it is still going to be one more entire turn before.
Yeah, and maybe 1 point of damage for
Sure.
falling on his
Yeah,
ass.
for falling on your face. I like that. Thank you. I love when my
Yeah.
characters voluntarily take damage. I wasn't going to do it. I was going to do a nice barrel roll, but this makes more sense. Comes up kind of
No,
scuffed.
John is not graceful enough for
No.
a barrel roll. Ashley would do a barrel roll, but John is a pampered Richmond.
All right. So on this particular turn, Ashley, you have to avoid the fireball of your own making, so you don't get a movement. This turn's basically a miss your turn thing. Was the one from last round?
Avoid.
Yeah, avoid.
Avoid
Exactly.
because
Yep.
I don't want a barrel.
Absolutely, and that's an automatic because it's the one from last turn. You're choosing to not take damage, but that means you don't get an attack this round or an action this round. John, you go
Yes.
across the gut because Hermes was moving. It's like
Yes,
stepping
and
out of a moving
John
car.
has only two magic points
Yep.
left.
So you come
And,
skidding to a stop, realize you're almost powerless, and
Yes, and still sitting down, he would go bingo bango and do a thunderous word with
Okay.
finger guns at the ship.
thunderous word finger guns, thunderous guns. That's what I'm calling that. And Ashley's avoiding. So as you kind of lean back and start to get ready to do that, you can see now as the ship is getting much, much closer, you can see the figurehead, the dude that is literally tied to the bowsprit of the ship. And he looks down at you, and it looks for all the world like you're going to get run over at this point. And he hits the distortion button, and you hear bow 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 wow 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 wow.
He does the set trombone, but with the
Exactly,
guitar.
but on an electric guitar with a lot of distortion.
Yeah.
He doesn't think you're going to survive this. But you let loose with the finger guns of doom, and it's a 13. That is a success. Where are you shooting? This big ship. What are you shooting?
I'm trying to change its course, like get it off course.
Okay, so you're gonna try and
So-
shoot the helmsman who's standing beside the
Yeah,
captain.
the downed part, because it's
Oh.
a thunder wave explosion. So I want them to maybe not capsize but go around.
Oh, okay,
the
I got
other
you.
way
Yep.
that they want to
Yep,
go.
it's a 13. So yeah, it goes off and kind of the whole ship goes into the ground, and it doesn't have a suspension, right? It's
Yeah,
just big wheels.
it's a ship.
So when it goes compressed like that, it hits a rock and kind of slides off to the side. I'll give you that one. That's a good success. So
Thanks.
as Ashley, as you come around the fire, you see that it's been slightly deflected. So the first part of your mission is done. You have got yourselves between the ship and your convoy. So now the second part, you need to engage and delay. And so far, you guys have already kind of started this. We're going to let Ashley go first this time. You're close. The Molotov didn't work. All your wonderful toys are in your pocket that you just got from the dirty bastard.
I throw second Molotov because I had few patches.
Absolutely, you did. So you're going to throw a
And I
Molotov.
want save better bombs for later.
Perfect. Makes good sense to me. John, this thing is almost on top of you. You wanted to be close, but you could smell the wood.
John is all out of magic now.
Yep.
And he takes his pretty gun because it's I think he would get 2 Glocks with a floral pattern, and then I get a picture of that. I will throw it on Discord interpreter because I have to get it from a flash drive. But he would take out the 2 Glocks and try to shoot at the captain maybe.
Okay.
And he would be horrible at that because he didn't shoot a gun before.
You know what? This game, it don't matter. The
Yeah.
chances of success are exactly the same no matter what you try and do. The way that they explain it in the book, I love it. This isn't about skill. This is about fate. You were fated to
Yes.
hit a certain amount of your shots because this is heroes. This isn't real life. So,
It's roll of cool.
yes. So the Molotov arcs through the air. Is there a specific part of the ship you're trying to land it on?
And where is wooden?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
then would be full fire.
So wood and then underneath the sails, maybe?
Yeah.
Because they'll burn too. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. All right. So, whip. 7. you're going to have to wipe these bottles, Ashley. They're a little slippery. This one does do what you wanted to do. It goes up and lands on there and starts a small fire on the deck. So the ship is on fire. That part all works. But we have another difficult choice to make. And because I'm lazy, I'm going to give you the same one I gave to John. In the process of throwing this Molotov, you kind of got yourself off balance. So would you like to fall off dizzy and get to act next round, or would you miss
No.
another round? No, you're gonna stay on.
I prefer meat because those bombs are delicate.
Yes, yes, that's a fair point. You do not want to roll onto the ground with 6 of the most evil stink bombs in the world on your pocket. I get it. I think, and I appreciate that. So you stay on. In that case, we'll have you take 1 point of damage for that. Just kind of having to wrench your shoulder to pull yourself back onto dizzy. But that is a success each. Oh no, wait a minute. We got to shoot at the captain. 15. The round, John, it's like blah, 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 because this is a video game, basically, right? Unlimited ammo. You just unload in the direction of the captain. At first, it's just ping, 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 ping. It's bouncing off the shield.
The shield.
That's in front of him. But every time you hit him, it gets slightly dimmer and slightly closer to him. The last
it's like breaks a little like glass.
Exactly. The last round actually goes through, and you see it hit him right in the forehead and bounce off. And when his head comes back down, there's a big shiny spot and a dent. And he turns to you and says, "That's definitely not all right." But that's a success.
It's your fault for attacking us.
So let's switch it again. This time, John, what are you doing first?
John would try to get aboard the ship.
Are you going to climb on the ship?
Reverse abordage.
So you want to
Like
board the ship?
Yes.
Okay, I love it.
And fight with my sword.
Ashley, John's going on the ship. Crazy John, who could not fight his way out of a paper bag with a spray bottle and help, is going on the ship where there's 20 pirates. What do you do? Oh, the ship's on fire too, by the way.
Yes.
I go on ship while shooting my rifle.
Run dizzy up beside it and climb up the side of the ship like a pirate yourself. I love it. So you guys both board the ship.
Why? But I still shooting.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
no.
still shooting. So I'm gonna see if you both board the ship first, and then we'll start shooting.
Yes.
So John, 9, you climb on board the ship, but if you want to climb, you're either hanging off the side of the ship like this, or drop one of your Glocks.
I drop one of my Glocks.
Bam,
Bye bye,
Glock. With both hands. So you're on board, but just.
And the other Glock is in my mouth for now.
Like a knife?
Yes. Yes. Like a pirate.
Yep. And Ashley, Dizzy runs you up to the side of the ship, and then just before you're going to start to climb, he kind of bucks like a horse. He kind of kicks his butt up in the air and throws you up onto the deck. So you land on the deck, rifle in hand. Who do you shoot?
And to anybody important because I need bosses shoot.
Absolutely. Well, there's
so maybe the robot that has his
the captain,
shield broken.
Yeah, he's the only one that sort of stands
would
out.
you like that, Ashley?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see the shield is off now, and he turns to look at you. And I mean, it's a robot face, so there's no emotion, but the sort of stance that he turns to you is like, what the hell's going on? And you fire. I don't like that roll. I like that roll better. The first one was a tough choice. I don't want that right now. You fire, and I mean, he's got hit points. You hit him sort of here, and you see there's a hit. There's a buckle, and then out of the back you see splinters of metal and hydraulic fluid instead of blood. So just. And his eyes come back down again. He's got a look on his face like he is stunned, like he doesn't know what's going on here. John.
John would get Glock in one hand, and he would get out his blonde family sword, and hold sword this way in front of his face, like Aragorn. This sword protects me. and shoot with the other hand with his staff on his back.
Okay.
It's magic stuff on the back.
You're going to shoot at the captain.
Yes.
Okay. And Ashley?
I'm still shooting,
Okay.
Captain.
Perfect. All right. So, blam, blam. Yep. I don't care. It's both the shots just drive into him, start knocking him back. He drops onto one knee and looks up at his crew and says, "For God's sakes, do something!" And kind of crouches over and leans against the wall. It's at this point that the entire crew starts to close on you. There's too many. There's 20, 30 people here. And your job is not to kill this thing. You've already damaged it. The fire is climbing up into the sails at this point. Some of the crew is actually trying to fight the fire while some of it's trying to fight you, while the captain's just trying to get away. The threat, the immediate threat to the caravan or the convoy is fixed.
John would look around and say to Ashley, "Let's jump off. They have enough."
Ashley?
I will ask something.
Yes.
Caravan is safe as it is or
Yeah.
not?
You glance over your shoulder and look, and because you sped them up and they cranked up their sails, it looks like one of those old black and white movies where they got where everybody walks
And
it's
they
just
have shield as well
Yeah, they're
around them.
tearing off into the distance.
Jump off,
Okay, so
but
you
careful
perfect.
to not break legs.
Like in old westerns, they used
I was
to
just
jump
gonna
on
say,
horses from
out of the train onto the horse. That's
Yes.
exactly
And
what I
we
saw.
are
Yeah.
jumping on our
So,
chicken friends.
And I'm not gonna. This is the
Yeah.
point in the show where we stop making rolls and start telling stories. The two
It's
of
the
you
cinematic
done as the
climax.
circle closes around you. Just do the like the Dread Pirate Roberts escape, right? It's just flip over the rail.
Yes.
You land on Dizzy and Hermes, and the two of them just peel off. You can see and feel that sort of flock, like flocking birds, as Dizzy and Hermes are doing this, running this this pattern,
Yes.
as shots are whizzing around you and over your head as they react, but too late. You look over your shoulder, the second of the three masts catches on fire. Another sail goes up as it goes up the mast and catches the big one, then the little one, then the tiny one at the top. You can see pirates jumping off of the burning ship trying to get away. It's just careening madly across the desert. The person trying to control it is running the wheel, but it's on fire. Now,
And I just wanted to say that John learned from Ashley to let go.
yeah,
Because a few days ago he would want to finish
you'd have died on that ship.
the
Absolutely. Yeah.
robot.
I
But
was
Yeah.
I
Ashley?
was thinking that if still caravan in danger, I would go to a love bomb.
It's entirely up to you. You've beat these guys. Like, you don't need to use it.
Yeah.
And you specifically said you were kind of holding on to it for another thing.
Hold
Yep.
for later.
Yeah. And as Jack
Yes.
pointed out earlier, the captain of this ship was an NPC in another game, and he already loves himself a lot. So,
okay.
I have idea that this bomb could affect John.
yes, that's true. He was still on the ship, so it was very nice of you.
Yes.
Yeah, John would not want to leave the ship after he had fallen madly in love with the captain. Yeah,
Yes, definitely.
No,
A new life for
no.
John is
Yeah.
He's a
pirate, no?
I was
Bob Deck, yeah.
no. I was thinking that people on ship and John could fall off to Ashley.
Oh, there's
Oh.
that too. Yeah, that would also be a possible.
John already loves Ashley, but it's
But-
love in a
but-
friendship way.
Yeah, but I'm thinking would be fun if John in romantic.
Yeah. Well, you've
Yeah.
got that potion. There's going to be plenty more opportunities to use it. You can make all kinds of people fall in love with you.
Yeah.
But this instance, where you're safe, as you ride away, the ship, you see it sort of bank off into the distance. They're concentrating now on putting out the fire and trying to save their ship. Every once in a while, you see one of the cannons go off by accident as the air tank underneath gets heated up, and
Yes.
so you just hear as all the corks pop out of the end of their little cannon barrels.
Yeah.
but there's nothing in them. And as you ride your way back up and catch up with the convoy, it's still.
Yes. And is the time amulet a one-time thing? It
You
doesn't
don't know.
exist anymore. Okay.
But do you go up and grab it?
I would try because now we are safer.
Yeah, you can see even though they're still moving very quickly, the convoy is compared to themselves, they're slowing down. So you can catch up to them. You run up and pull the pendant off and put it back on yourself. It's warm, like it's almost hot against your chest when you put it back on, but it seems like it might work again. At least it's not cracked or broken or anything like that magic items usually do.
It needs to recharge.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
why
it has a literal cooldown period.
That's why he took it off, because he was worried that something might happen to the caravan or the pendant.
Absolutely.
He didn't want to overheat it.
So the impression that you get is that it's got a literal
but
cooldown period. Yes, Ashley.
but this necklace not have any side effects on John?
Not that you've seen.
We are just learning.
It's only been used once. We don't know.
Yeah.
But knowing me as a GM, there's probably nothing nasty about it. But
maybe he will just be more tired. And this is the first time that John is at 0 magic.
Yep.
Yeah.
So as the two of you catch up and pull that pendant off, and time literally comes back to normal for the people in the convoy, and I imagine you're coming down now. You're the adrenaline of the fight is wearing
from the
off.
adrenaline high.
And you just kind of and just want to get back on the road. And before we take one more sentence, this is where I'm going to drop the curtain on tonight, because I want to start next week with a conversation that we'll get to next week.
Yep.
But for this week, thank you so much to everybody, especially to my players. I told you I'd give you a chance to interact with each other and some NPCs.
Yes,
there'll be more outposts along the way, but this was the first of many.
I'm very happy about it. I don't know about you, Ashley, Janet. I was very happy with the interaction. It was cool.
Yeah, fun was.
Good. And there's plenty more where that came from. Lots more moments of safety where you'll get to chat and show how different each of you are from the other. But for now, thank you, Bro.
And the best was Revolution.
Yep.
Yeah, they have Bake Revolution.
Oh yes. I don't know if I've ever run a game that didn't have a revolution in it, now that I think about it. That might say something about my political standings. I was an anarchist for quite a while, until I got older and realized that I'm not fast enough, young enough, or smart enough to be an anarchist anymore. Because when there's no cops, you got to live hard. So yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, with that, I've decided I'm a cooperativist now. I would like people to just cooperate with each other, and if we all work together, there's not a problem. But never mind, that's probably
There is fun stuff like DD20 gaming when we cooperate.
There is, and it shows that it works. Thank you for that wonderful leading segue. But thank you so much to Brilchan. John I love this character because he's absolutely stuck on himself. But every once in a while, there's, dare I say it, a moment of self-doubt. They're extinguished
the moment
immediately.
Of clarity in the madness.
Yeah. But I'll call it self-doubt for now, but then it's immediately crushed by the ego. So I love it. I'm looking forward to seeing that. This is only, we're not even halfway through this yet. So I'm looking forward to see how more human John gets.
I'm proud that he stepped down in this game, that he learned from Ashley to
the doctor
go away and run.
Yep. And thank you so much to Janet. Ashley never fails to surprise me. Every single episode, you do something that I wasn't expecting, and that's wonderful. I love it. I love being pushed.
What was surprising today?
The asking the big one was asking to speak to the chemists. I was not expecting that at all. So that was kind of cool, because I didn't have that scene ready or prepped. I don't know who that lady is. I still don't know her name. Oh, it's Karen, right? I told you. But yeah, that was totally off the cuff, because I wasn't expecting you to ask for the chemist. But just the decisions you guys make all the time. Ashley's decisions are just like, where's the target? I shoot it. Where's the target? I blow it up. Where's the party? I don't go. Right? Ashley's marvelous. Out of all, especially, I was looking forward to seeing Ashley in the Dirty Bastards outpost because it's all flash, right? It's all flash. And Ashley's just had none of it, just went to bed, had the dinner, went back to bed, had a nice glass of wine, done, right? There's no messing around. And then when it came to the fight, Ashley fought like a professional. Just on the ball, cool, calculated, collected. When things go wrong, she just went around them, solved the problem. And John, don't take this in the wrong way, but John was finally effective in a fight.
Yes, I just wanted to say that finally they started to work together as a well-oiled machine, and
Yes.
that's because he started to listen to Ashley
Yes.
and not try to be the hero.
And in a payback for that, Ashley listened to John a little bit and accepted the dress.
Yes.
One of the things in my head was I absolutely was one of the things I was expecting is Ashley to just say no, or that's nice, and then just put it away and wear her dress. So again, you surprise you both.
Or wear the things that she wears daily.
Yeah,
in the road.
exactly. So it's these little motions, these little bits that you're learning
Yes.
from each other. It's beautiful and it's nice and slow. It's not
Yes.
artificial. I believe every second of it. So thank you both. You are both a joy to play with. You make me sweat. I describe my best games as a GM are the ones where I feel like I'm dancing blindfolded on a razor blade. And tonight was one of those. I had no idea what was coming, and those are my favorite games because I just get to make it all up on the fly and we get to tell these amazing stories. So, with that, there's a couple more thank yous left. Thank you to everybody that's watching. Bison, you got about 100 things over there, so thank you. 100 things in chat. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. I know you're enjoying this show. A lot of everybody that watches it does. I want to get more people watching it because this is a really, really good show. But thank you to everybody in chat. Thank you to everybody that's watching the VOD. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you watched it on YouTube all the way to here, please hit the buttons at the bottom because I'm going to assume you did enjoy it or you wouldn't have watched this with the bajillion hours of stuff that's out there that you could have watched instead.
Maybe leave a comment, tell us your favorite moment.
Put a comment in there. The algorithm loves comments.
Yes.
5 clapping hands we see all the time. Thank you. I know who you are. Wink, wink. Spinny hearts. I know who you are too. Wink, wink. We see them.
Yeah.
We really do. And they make a difference. I do this because I like to be watched. That's part of it. I'm not going to lie about it. I like to perform and I like to be watched. So knowing that we're being watched and knowing that it's being appreciated is all the payment I will ever need.
Definitely same here.
With that, I feel like I need another thank you for everybody. So here's just a big generic thank you. There you go. Big giant one. And until next time, I would take it as a personal favor if you would please be nice to each other. Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.